And I think we're all set for the very next session out here. So ladies and gentlemen, the very next session, we call it Tech in Action, the mixed reality experience. So mixed reality is the combination of two technology-enhanced methods for perceiving the world, and which are virtual reality and augmented reality. The impact of these technologies in all elements of society, from the world of entertainment to the world of business, is massive. And now, this is the time that we make a fundamental shift in the way we interact with internet, each other, and the world around us. In this session, we experience on how mixed reality can be used practically in different industries, and about the applications of mixed reality as well. And for this session, with a big round of applause, let us invite Mr. Ashik Salim from Valorem Reply. A big round of applause to you. Yeah. And over to you as well, please.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. I'm Ashik Salim, a developer in Immersive experiences at Valorem Reply. I'm joined by my colleague Adil Baby. Today we'd like to talk to you about mixed reality experiences, how mixed reality came to be, how mixed reality differs from VR and AR, virtual reality and augmented reality, how HoloLens from Microsoft enables mixed reality experiences, and we'll also have a short demo in between. So, how did mixed reality come to be? Over the past 2 decades or so, the way we interact with computers have changed tremendously. We went from bulky desktops to portable laptops to smartphones that we carry around with us every moment of our day. Mixed reality aims to be the next paradigm in this evolution of computing. Mixed reality aims to bridge these physical and digital worlds into one seamless world. We've all heard about the metaverse and how it's almost here, still not here, but you know, when metaverse arrives, mixed reality will be one of the key technologies that enable metaverse. So, what is mixed reality and how is it different from virtual reality and augmented reality? So, in virtual reality, you have a very high fidelity, high definition 3D world that is presented to you, but you are completely occluded from the physical world. It's only the digital world. The augmented reality is the other end of it. The prime focus is the physical world, and small snippets of digital information are overlaid on it. We all played the Pokemon Go game at some point probably, which is a good example of augmented reality. Now, mixed reality aims to be, a blend of the two, essentially making the two ends meet and creating one seamless experience. So, one of the key differences that mixed reality has with virtual reality or augmented reality is that it has an understanding, a three-dimensional understanding of the world that you are in, so that the digital world that we are bringing into that physical world is firmly placed or rooted in the physical world rather than just being an overlay on top of it. So, mixed reality essentially aims to replace your definition of reality as we know it. The reality we know currently is physical reality, and mixed reality aims to be a new definition for it, a new definition of reality, which is mixed reality. So, today we are focusing on HoloLens from Microsoft as a device that enables our foray into the mixed reality world. My friend is wearing the HoloLens 2 device, and on the screen is an exploded view of the HoloLens. As you can see, there are a lot of components to it, a very complex device. There are two key components of this device that I would like to point out that enable the bridging of physical and digital worlds from a mixed reality perspective. The first is the display of the device. The display of this device is unlike the display we have in our computers or smartphones or something like that. Those displays usually occlude everything that is behind them. It's a solid opaque display, right? So the HoloLens has a see-through holographic display. So you can see the physical world through it, as well as the digital objects are rendered on it. This is what enables us to perceive both the physical and digital worlds together. The other key component that I would like to point out is the HoloLens's depth sensor. It has what's called a time-of-flight depth sensor that enables the HoloLens to have a 3D understanding of the world around you. So if you put on the HoloLens, the depth camera scans the room or whatever you're standing in the physical world around you and makes a 3D representation of it. And this 3D representation allows the HoloLens to place digital objects at the correct place in a physical world and persist there without, when you walk around and come back, it will still be at a physical location. It will be as if you have placed a digital object in the physical world. Despite all these components and power packed into this device, it is supposed to be, it is intended as an edge computing device. As in, if you have any heavy workloads like a large AI model inference, photo inference or something to run, you are supposed to run it on the cloud and get the results streamed back to you. The reasons for this being limitations in both computing and battery life. Granted, computing is an easier barrier to overcome. In practically, battery life is the major limitation in doing so. And that is why we hope utilize cloud technologies more on this. So, who are we, Valorem Reply, in mixed reality space? Valorem Reply has been a part of the HoloLens partner program with Microsoft at the very beginning, starting from 2016. We have made a number of in-house apps that are listed here. We have also created a number of custom solutions for our partners. I'll just briefly explain the in-house apps we have made. HoloFlight is a 3D flight data visualization app designed to assist air traffic controllers. We'll have a short demo of it later. HoloBeam is a 3D video calling app in which the person you are calling is recreated in front of you as a 3D hologram using the 3D data gathered using a Microsoft Kinect. It also supported 3D shared interactions on a 3D virtual model. It was also showcased in a proud moment for us. It was showcased at Microsoft Ignite conference in 2018. Tire Explorer is a concept app we created as a concept for guided interactive learning. It's essentially a 3D model of an automobile tire where you can see the various internals of the automobile tire overlaid on top of a real tire and interact with the various internals and learn various details about it. So now we'll look at a short demo of HoloFlight. My friend is wearing the HoloLens device. I'll switch to the mixed reality capture view so that we can all see what he's seeing through the HoloLens. So right now, what he's seeing through the HoloLens is being streamed to my laptop over Wi-Fi, and that is displayed on the screen. As you can see, he has placed the app on the table that exists in our physical world. A digital hologram is placed on the physical object, and that is one of the key concepts of mixed reality. So as I mentioned, HoloFlight is a 3D flight data visualization app. It is designed to help air traffic controllers. Usually an air traffic controller only has data that is visible on his computer screen as well as what he can see physically through his window. Here he has an entire 3D overview of the airspace right on his table. So as you can see, this is an airspace around the Hawaii Honolulu airport. You can see various flights flying around. The paths of the flights are represented as little white trails. There's different panels that he has access to view flight data and a list of flights. He has now zoomed into an area that he's interested in so that he can observe that area in greater detail. And he will now switch to a more zoomed in view or a first person view, which represents an air traffic controller's perspective while standing from his tower. And from that view, an air traffic controller will have the flights around, incoming flights around him overlaid virtually on his physical world at the correct physical locations long before the flights are physically visible to him. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that short look into HoloFlight. We'll now share some technical details behind it. The primary development environment was Unity, as is for most of mixed reality apps. We used a third-party API for gathering flight data. It supports both real-time and recorded flight data. We used a Maps API to gather terrain in both satellite imagery and height map data so that the terrain that we create in the app is accurate to real-world terrain in 3 dimensions. The app supports interaction via both hand gestures and voice commands. So yeah, that was quite about it about HoloFlight, and this is an image of HoloBeam being presented at Microsoft Ignite Conference 2018. As you can see, there are a few people at the table. One of them is not a real person, it's a hologram. The person at the far end of the table is a hologram joining in via a Microsoft Kinect reproduced point cloud, and they are interacting on a shared model of a chemical plant. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this really short peek into mixed reality experiences. We'll take any questions if you have any. Thank you.
So anybody with any questions? You can just raise your hand if you got any questions. Anybody with any questions? Oh yes. There.
So I was the lead developer for this. Our team was like maybe 3 or 4 people, mostly 3 people, and we had a very short team focused on creating a halfway, not a point of concept, but we used real API data and everything, but it still was a very focused short team consisting of myself from India, another person from Germany, and one other person from US.
Yes, any other questions? Yes, please.
Faulty line is
Yes.
happened actually. So can you do that?
Yeah, yes, definitely. This was one of the projects we did actually. A partner approached us with they already had a 3D model of their plant.
Correct.
And
Per
they
plant.
had various models of their equipment, and we were supposed to gather data from various sensors and
Right.
Light up the relevant part in the chemical plant with indicators, and so that an engineer looking can immediately identify where the problem is
Right.
and address it.
Got it. And it can capture real-time data as well.
Yes. The advantage of a HoloLens when it comes to its other competitors is that it is tied into the Microsoft ecosystem, and Microsoft has the Azure cloud very well built. So gathering data from the cloud is a very easy affair.
Got it.
Yes, and any other questions? Anybody?
So mixed reality is, the metaverse is supposed to be, a concept that is coming, where our entire physical and digital world, all the digital devices are all part of one shared world and they talk to each other. That world is not here yet, but when it is here, mixed reality will be one of the key technologies that make us feel like we are living in the metaverse rather than we are interacting with it.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
Live video streams?
Yeah, for example, you can fix a system by video call or
Yes, yes. So HoloBeam is one of the examples for that. Actually, they are actually discussing on the problems on a shared model, and an engineer can call into your device and appear in front of you as a hologram and relay instructions in real time on how to fix it. And he also can see what you are seeing.
Yes, and I think that was a great session and put into crisp knowledge. A big round of applause to Mr. Ashik Salim from Valorem Reply. Thanks a lot. And now I would invite Mr. Dinesh S., the manager of NASCOM, to hand over a token of gratitude to Ashik Salim. Please, this side. Yeah. And let's give a big round of applause.